one of those teams interested in signing him. Gordon reportedly hurt his hamstring at a Friday night promo shoot, which made him unavailable to play yesterday. GM John Dorsey issued a statement Saturday saying, quote, "Unfortunately, we've reached a point where we feel it's best to part ways and move forward." Joined once again by DeAngelo Hall. But first, Shannon, I'm going to start with you. Would you give up a draft pick for Gordon?
Nope. I'm done. I'm out. Can't trust him. Can't rely on him.
Wow.
Skip this team. I can only think of probably two teams that would have stuck with Josh Gordon this long. The Cleveland Browns and the Dallas Cowboys. Skip, think about this. Since he led the league in receiving yards in 2014, he's only played 11 games since then. 11 total games. Drug test after drug test after drug test failed. The Browns says, bro, we got you. We're going to get you all the help you need. We're going to send you to the best people that's in this field, someone you can talk to. Skip, when he showed up this year, I'm not ready to go to training camp. They say, bro, take as much time as you need. Get your health, get your sobriety on track, and when you come back, we're going to welcome you with open arms. He comes back, he tweaks his hamstring, bro, no problem. Get it right. We've been here for you for the last 3, 4, 5 years. We're going to bring you all the way home. In the process, now remember, he wasn't supposed to start the first week because Hugh said that's going to be a part of your punishment for not coming to camp.
And what happened?
Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator, sneaks him in.
Because he's just too good.
Too good to keep him off the field. So Hugh said, you know what? He's one of our better players. Let's go ahead and ride this thing out. Josh, you're starting. Now, you know your hamstring is a little tweaked. To begin with. You're going to go out there and hurt it doing something that's not football, that's not Browns related.
Promotional. Your own promotional endeavor.
As a player, once the coaches can no longer trust you, it's time for them to move on. And John Dorsey basically put a nice little bow on it and said, you know, we've come to the point that we feel it's best in the best interest of both parties to move on. Skip, you can't trust him. Now, somebody is going to be enamored with this talent. The guy's 6'3.5". He's 225, 230 pounds, and he can still run 4.4. So someone's going to be enamored with him. And let me tell you what it's going to get you. The exact same thing. Because if Cleveland Browns, the team that stuck their neck out for him and rolled with him for the last 4 years, if he'll do this to them, what do you think he's going to do when he gets to your building? No, I'm done. He can't get no pick from me.
This is such a tough question because as a player, I want the best players around me.
Yes.
And so as a player, I initially was like, yeah, heck yeah. But then as a GM and a guy who's running the team, no, absolutely not. Like Shannon said, everything you said is spot on. You can't trust him. And to be in an organization like Cleveland for so long, it's been a lot of different guys in charge there. And so I don't know about the personal relationships and things like that, and they're really genuinely has his best interests at heart. If this kid couldn't play, he'd have been, let's get that cleared first. He would have been out of there.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that has to do with his ability. So somebody will definitely trade for his ability, but yeah, I mean, you can't trust him. And when you have to have guys on that football field that you can trust and that's going to do what you ask them to do, Josh Gordon just doesn't fit in that mold. But like you said, the talent is off the charts. You can't measure it in some instances. And his ability and what he can do is such an upside. Somebody's going to definitely take a run at him.
He's a less reliable Julio Jones.
Well, a lot.
You can't count on him.
Oh, yeah. But you're saying he's in the...
He has that kind of ability. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's the things he can do on the football field. And I had the chance to play against him, and he was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
To say the least. To say the least. I mean, he was great. And so
Did you take him? You have single coverage on him?
Yeah, I did for the better part of the day. Never caught a touchdown pass, or I don't think a pass over 10 yards. But you could tell he was young. It might have been his first or second year. But you could tell the way this kid ran routes. He was way more polished than Julio when he first got in. Yes. Pressed him, but he could get off. He was strong. He was faster than you thought. Like Julio's faster than you think, but he's a little more quick. He's quicker than Julio is. Well, he was then. Who knows what he's like right now? But it's just those things that you don't know. And to have had all of those problems, Josh, and still, when you hear promo shoot, I'm thinking every promo shoot I've ever been to was kind of put on by the team.
Right.
Sure.
It was a team function. And so for him to have something come up at a promo shoot that we still don't really know the whole story, that's a little weird. And for Cleveland to have stuck with him this long and have something as minor as, all right, he tweaked a hamstring, like, things happen. I mean, I slipped down the stairs one time, and they thought I was joking when I went to the training room. I'm like, no, literally, I had socks on, walked down the stairs, and I literally slipped and I hurt my hip. And so things happen. Freak accidents happen. And so for them to just say, wash our hands now, we're done, after all the other things, yeah, that's a no for me.
So you two just spoke with your head, and I'm about to speak with my heart, because I've been around this kid, and I really like him. And I think if you spent time around him, you would really like him. He is deep. He is personable. He has high IQ on and off the football field. He'll talk to you about how I just don't love myself enough. That's when he goes over the edge the wrong direction, because he just doesn't love what God gave him, because God gave him Hall of Fame ability. That game he had at New England that first year.
Oh, yeah.
I just sat there in awe. They just couldn't guard him. Of course, now they can't guard anybody. But again, in those days, that's when
they were good.
They were New England.
Yeah.
And so when I heard about this, I wasn't surprised, because they gave him every opportunity. To both your points, history screams. His history screams, no, 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 no.
Right.
And it screamed that to the Browns. And they finally said, you know what? We're out. Because there were also reports that when he came in on Saturday and said he tweaked his hamstring at a promotional shoot, he wasn't right. They thought, I don't know about this. So here we go again. And I don't want to pile on by going chapter and verse on all of his drug issues back to Baylor University, because it's just been one after another.
And at the combine showing up, and it's
just one after another, and he hit bottom. It's only about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. He's living in an apartment in West Hollywood with one Johnny Manziel, and I heard some stories about what was going on in that apartment that would raise the hair on the back of your neck, because they hit bottom.
Right.
So, would I like to see Jerry Jones just take some fifth-round flyer and just see if he could save this kid, because he came from Houston, but he was. I think he's a Cowboy fan. Went to.
You think everybody's a Cowboy fan?
Well, everybody is a Cowboy
they're not.
fan. Every guard here at Fox in Los Angeles is a Cowboy fan.
I know somebody that's not a Cowboys fan.
Who?
You looking at him?
Well, you might be the only two on the line.
Jenny's not a Cowboys fan.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, Jenny.
Sorry, Skip.
Jenny from Minnie who be on that Henny.
Is she?
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder about that.
But you know what, Skip? Let's be real, Skip. It's never about the surface issue. When they say this is the straw that broke the camel's back, okay, this was the final straw. But there have been veils of, hey, they're showing up late, not doing the right.
Hard Knocks, when they're in Hugh's office and
Yeah.
it's him and John Dorsey,
Yeah.
and Hugh looks up and says, "The big fish is here."
The
Like
Eagles
he's
landed.
Oh, for
The
sure.
eagle has landed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew,
Yeah.
really?
Oh, yeah.
That's what they looked at him like he was in awe of what he
Right.
could do. And that snatch catch that he made against Pittsburgh in the opener, down the
But
boundary.
think about it. Look at all the general managers that's been there. All the head coaches have been there. Normally, a guy with these kind of red flags, they're like, I'm done. Well, he didn't do it. But they say, no, we're going to stay with you, bro.
But you know why, Shannon?
The ability.
Yes, ability. But until you do it to me,
Right.
it really,
Yeah, you ain't have to.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know you.
I know, but you got to do it to me.
Yeah.
And so
But sometimes
every
if you sit with
person
the kid,
who's done it to them
you
as
just
well.
see, look in his eyes, and you say, he's just a bad egg. He's just
Yeah.
a bad kid. You sit with Josh, you don't think he's a bad kid.
Skip, what's insanity? Is doing the
Repeating.
exact same thing over and over and hoping for a different result. They keep doing the same thing over and over. And Josh Gordon, Skip, look, I wish him all the best. I want him to get his life in order. And think about it. When he said, he put his statement out, he says, and after he says, blah, 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 who needs a deep threat?
Yeah.
Lets you know, Skip, that right now he ain't thinking about himself. He's not thinking about what he needs in order to get his life in order.
Yeah.
He is who he is, man.
Well, I don't know, because
What you mean you don't know? How many times?
because
How many times do I need to slap you in the face with a skunk before you realize it smells?
Yeah. In that instance, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how many drug
But-
tests he got to fail?
But I'm saying, you say insanity is doing the same thing over again, expecting different results.
Yeah.
What happens when you have a brick or a big old rock and you just keep hitting it, Nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening. The 1,000th time you hit it, boom,
Yeah.
it breaks.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can
Yeah.
Change somebody that doesn't want to be changed or doesn't have the wherewithal to even.
No, you can change someone
Well,
that wants to be changed.
Yeah.
He's played 11 games in 4 years.
But you know what happens, though? When you get cut, you've never gotten cut.
I got cut. That hurts. I
Have
got
you
cut in
gotten
Baltimore. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, I got cut.
But I've gotten cut in the prime of my career. And when that happens,
But you
no
took,
matter
you
what
took the
else,
Raiders $8 million, though. Yeah, you.
slide that in. But I tell you what, when you get cut, it does something to you.
Interesting.
It's the reason Dez Bryant now is so motivated to be great.
Why did it take that?
I don't know. For me, I got lazy. I got comfortable. I got complacent. I needed to. Boy, you know where you came from?
But see,
I needed that.
it's easy to snap out of laziness than to shake that demon.
You right. That's a demon.
That thing get his hands
You
in your
right,
skip.
but it's possible.
I got it.
And so
the demons got a hold of
And
him.
Jerry
still.
Jones is a great guy that
But skip team say that they said no. Now if Jerry says
the
no,
Dallas Morning News
I
reported
know
that
Jerry
somebody
did, but
assumed
man, we
Jerry
thought
said no.
Pac-Man couldn't play ever. And Jerry got his hands on it. Pac-Man
Randy
ended
Gregory?
up playing forever in Cincinnati. Is he
How
still
did they
there?
Oh,
get Randy Gregory in the second round?
because of that.
Nobody would take a chance.
No.
No. And they're still taking chances.
11 games in 4 years.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
11.
Yeah, but I keep thinking of making that catch against Pittsburgh, and I think, boy, you put him in that metallic blue and white.
Yeah, he made that catch. He's like, but whew, boy, I sure hope when he give that test tomorrow, it comes back over, it comes back negative.
Yeah, you
hold your breath
that as
because
a
he's
front
getting
office.
tested
Yeah.
10 times a month, Skip. 10 times.
You're right, and I'm speaking with my heart. But I wouldn't mind it.
If he lost the trust of the Browns, though, he has a long way to go to earn everyone else's.
Absolutely.
And the Browns are the Browns are the last team that can give up on talent. So for
That is
them to
true.
say, you know what, we done,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, and
We've
that-
done all we could. At some point in time, Skip, you say we've done all we could.
That's part of the issue too. When the Browns are that bad and they tell you go home, like we
Something's
don't
going
want
on
you, we'll
here.
be all right without you. And it's like, dude, we ain't really that good. If we telling him to go home,
Like they
then
like-
he must
There's
something
more going on.
must
Like they
really
told
be
Brock
going on.
Osweiler last year, Skip, $16 million. It's like you can play quarterback anywhere in the NFL. You just can't play here.
Yeah.
Now they need they needed a quarterback. They need Josh. They need talent.
Yeah.
But you can't trust him anymore, Skip.
We need him too. I think you're just afraid he's going to become a Cowboy.
I want him to. I want him to
I
get his
want him
life
to
in
go
order.
anywhere.
Let
Yeah.
him get
I
his
just want
life
him
in
to
order.
get
Skip.
another
He got to
chance.
get that life in order first.
Especially hearing you talk about how good a kid he is. Like I've heard RG talk about how great he is, but that's a guy who's been in the locker room with him.
Sometimes
But hearing
good
you say that-
people do bad and dumb things.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's not always.
I don't know if it's
Without a
dumb.
doubt.
You just got the demon. You just got a disease, and you just can't beat
Yeah.
it. And sometimes